Welcome to the Shop of Joy, the podcast that celebrates the heart and soul of retail. Whether you're serving on the shop floor, you're leading a team, or simply someone who loves a brilliant customer moment, this space is for you. Each episode will explore how to turn your store into a joyful place for your customers, your colleagues, and just as importantly, for yourself. This episode is all about follow up. Follow up. It's one of the most important things that you can do in retail. But one of the things that so many salespeople and so many retailers get very, very wrong. So before the internet, retailers, they built loyalty. They built it the old-fashioned way, right? So personal connection, consistency. All they did was simply follow up with customers using thank you notes, phone calls, asked them to come back via in-person conversations as well. They remembered customers' names and their preferences. They sent them birthday cards. They made the customers feel personal and valued. There was no automation in the customer experience. The customer experience was earned simply one meaningful moment at a time. Now with the rise of the internet, now with the rise of CRM systems that can take and track data, now with the rise of the self-checkout, selling and going into a shop feels more impersonal than ever. So now it's so key to get the follow-up absolutely right. And not just to follow up, but to follow up in a correct way to give a customer an unbelievable and exceptional customer experience that they're going to go away and they're going to tell all their friends about. If you give a customer an incredible customer experience, they are going to go away 77% of the time and tell somebody else. What a massive incentive that is to turn your customers into advocates and ambassadors for your brand. And follow-up is an amazing way to do that. Because follow-up isn't about looking in people's pockets. Follow-up isn't about trying to get the sale over the line. Follow-up is not about the hard sale. And that's why so many retailers that I speak to, so many salespeople that I speak to have got it wrong. They don't like to follow up because they feel like they're being pushy. They feel like they're trying for the hard sell. They feel like they're being money grabbing. But that is not the case at all if you follow up in the correct way. Now, most people get nervous about being follow-up, but there's some people that I've worked with in the past that have been incredible at follow-up. So I'm going to talk to you today about some of the secrets behind follow-up, how many times you should follow up, the best medium of follow-up, what you should ask for on the follow-up, and also I'm going to tell you a couple of the retailers that I believe have got it absolutely right with follow-up. So let's start with the best times to follow up. Well, did you know that 48% of salespeople never follow up with a customer? But only 2% of sales are made after the first interaction with a customer. So there's a massive gap there in who's actually following up and who's actually buying after no follow-up. So we've got to bridge that gap somehow. Now, the best way to follow up is 3 times within a week. And now I know you're probably thinking, Sam, that's a lot of follow-up. I'm going to be hassling. I'm going to be badgering the customer. It's too much. But hear me out here. Okay, how you do it. Follow-up number 1. You send a customer a message as soon as they leave the store to say, thank you so much. I love speaking to you. I really enjoyed our time together today. Here's a little bit more information about what you were looking at. Now, that doesn't feel like follow-up. You'd send a message to a friend if they left your house and you had a lovely dinner with them, you enjoy spending time with them. That is literally just a very, very simple check-in with the customer. So if you do that first, the first thing you do with the customer is just send a little thank you, but this has to be done straight after the customer leaves the store for maximum impact. Then the next way to follow up is 2 days later. You send the customer a message saying, just checking in how you're getting on with if you're measuring up, say it's a piece of furniture, or say it's a piece of jewelry, if you're getting on with getting your mother's presents together, you're just literally sending a check-in just to see how they're getting on with the sale. So that's 2 days later. And then a week after the customer's been in store, finally you send another message and you say, here is a few things that I think would work really, really well with what you've been looking at. I've been thinking about it, and I think these would complement it really, really nicely. So again, you're not looking in their pockets. You're not asking them if they're ready to buy from you. You're literally just doing another check-in. Now, if you do that 3 times with a customer, you're instantly going to build up a rapport with this customer. And the follow-up is going to be very, very powerful. You've got to stay in forefront of the customer's mind, but not in a pushy way. And 3 times in a week, as I mentioned, number 1, just literally saying thank you very much. Number 2, seeing how they're getting on. And number 3, suggesting further items. And it works so well. I've seen it many times work brilliantly in all my years in retail. All right, the other thing that I get asked a lot is the best medium to follow up. Well, this is a really, really easy one. It's when the customer is in store with you, simply just ask them how they'd like to be followed up with. So maybe they like an email, maybe they like phone calls, maybe they like WhatsApp, whatever, it doesn't matter. Do it on the customer's terms. If they would prefer a phone call, then fine, give them a call. Maybe not, don't give them a call straight away after they leave the store, but give them a call within 2 days to follow up. Most of the time, customers say email or WhatsApp. That's a really, really easy one, but do it on the customer's terms. Make sure that. Then, after you've been following up a little bit, a really, really powerful way to take it to the next level is ask the customer for a referral, okay? So there's a few other things to ask the customer for, but we're going to focus on referral first. Other customers trust their friends way more than they trust an online review. So online reviews are great. Testimonials are great. I'm not saying they're not. Trustpilot reviews are brilliant. I'm not saying they're not. But referrals from a friend or from a family member are the most powerful way of getting customers, because you're going to have customers for life then. You're not just going to make a sale, you're going to have customers for life. And this is what we're aiming for. We're aiming for customers for life. So ask your customers, say, is there anybody else that you know that is looking for some jewelry, looking for to buy a sofa, looking to buy a car, whatever you're selling? Is there anybody else in your family that you know? I would love to look after them on your behalf, as I've enjoyed working with you so much. Now, sometimes they'll say, oh, no, nobody that I can think of at the moment, but you'll be forefront, you'll be the first in their mind when they do have somebody. But I've had it before when they've said, you know what, my brother's looking for a sofa. I'm gonna give him a call now, and I'll put you in touch, and you can arrange a time with him to come in and have a look at sofas. Brilliant. And that happens way more than you would expect. So referral and follow-up. Ask for a referral. Ask for a review as well on follow-up. But make sure you're keeping the conversation moving. Finally, when you're following up, find reasons to get the customer back into store. So have you got an event coming up very, very soon? Have you got a sale coming up very, very soon? Have you got new products coming up very, very soon? Have you got things that relate to what the customer has bought coming into store very, very soon, which would be interesting to show the customer? Think of reasons. Write a list of 10 reasons that you could potentially follow up with a customer about in order to get them back into store, and send your customers that reason. Call them up, email them, WhatsApp, whatever's best for the customer. Send them that reason to come into store. Okay, so we've talked about follow-up. We've talked about how important follow-up is, but which retailers get it right with follow-up? Now, I was very, very fortunate recently to have a one-to-one with Lord Harris. And Lord Harris is the owner and the founder of Tapi Carpets. Now, Lord Harris told me that in Tapi Carpets, they have a very, very high Trustpilot score. And the reason they have a very, very high Trustpilot score is when the items get delivered, the first thing that they do with their customers is pick up the phone and follow up with that customer. He said the phone call is the most powerful way. It's a very traditional way of following up with a customer. And it's worked really, really, really well for them. So places like Tappy Cupboard, John Lewis, they're very, very good at keeping in touch again with their customers. It's all about these touch points. It's all about finding a reason to reopen up the conversation, making your customer feel like they are part of your club. They are part that once they've left the store, it's not just a sale, because you follow up after your sales as well. This is not just leads that you're chasing. This is sales that you've made, and then you check in again a couple of days later. How are you getting on with the product? You're checking it again a week later to offer additional pieces with the product that might have come in that you think would work with the product. Always keeping the conversation alive. But a good way to do it is if you have a Google Calendar, set times on your Google Calendar with the customer's name in order to follow up with who at whichever date. There's a lot of great CRM systems that also have very, very good follow-up, like automated follow-up. But the key is to make sure that nothing seems automated. It's got to be personal follow-up. If it's not personal follow-up, you may as well throw it in the bin. It's just wallpaper. So personal follow-up about how the customer's getting on with the product, about how their family is, about the specific product that they bought is going to go such a long way in increasing your sales, but increasing the excellence of your customer journey. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. That was all about follow-up, the power of follow-up. Remember, follow up 3 times within a week. Ask the customer how they would like to be followed up with. And then when you speak to the customer, ask them for a referral. Referrals beat reviews every single time.